Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Thursday, March 9, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want to access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Miami O versus Toledo. When looking at Ken Palm's adjusted efficiency margin, there is a large difference between these programs, as Toledo is 4th in the nation with A+ 9.58 rating, while Miami is currently down at 266th in college basketball with a -8.05 rating thus far. A massive difference has been the ability to shoot the ball from beyond the arc, as the Rockets are second in the entire sport with a 40.17 three-point percentage, while the Redhawks are all the way down at 229th in NCAA with a 33 team percentage from distance. The favorite is 9-4-1 ATS in their last 14 games against one another, so go with the Toledo Rockets to cover the spread in this meeting as well. Our team pick is Toledo Rockets -12.5 points. Both of these teams are playing well, and the previous matchup between the Redhawks and Rockets was a high-scoring game. Toledo has also played fast, and the Rockets have been a top offensive team all year. The Rockets are 43rd in adjusted tempo out of 363 teams, and the better team usually dictates pace on a neutral court. Miami of Ohio has struggled defensively all year, and the Redhawks defense should have more problems in this matchup against a top Toledo offense in what should be a faster-paced game. Take the over 155.5 points. Davidson versus VCU. These two teams have played twice this year, with VCU winning both matchups. The first was an 89-72 effort on January 7th, and they followed that up with a 61-59 affair on January 31st. I'm going to go ahead and lock in the Wildcats to cover the line in this game. While VCU is clearly the better team, I think Davidson has the players to keep this game inside of the line. Look for the trio of Foster Lowaye, 16.6 ppg, Sam Menenga, 15.5 ppg, and Desmond Watson, 9.3 ppg, to put on an encore performance to Tuesday's win over St. Bonaventure. Furthermore, I think it actually benefits Davidson that they have a game under their belt at the Barclays Center. All things considered, I think the Wildcats can keep this one inside of 2 possessions. Our team pick is Davidson Wildcats +7 points. The offense is at the forefront of Davidson's game plan, exemplified by the fact that they're scoring 108.3 points per 100 possessions, 124th. VCU, on the other hand, is scoring 106.0 points per 100 possessions, 162nd. The Rams play at a respectable speed, using 68.3 possessions per 40 minutes, 141st. VCU has great depth in terms of scoring ability, seeing 5 players average north of 9.0 points per game. So if they can move the ball and penetrate a mediocre Davidson defense, they're going to force the Wildcats to keep up the pace on the other end. Ultimately, I think we're in for a quicker paced matchup, and we'll see this one go over the total. Wake Forest versus Miami FL. Wake Forest was fortunate to hang on after letting a 13-point lead in the second half slip away against Syracuse. The Demon Deacons won't be as fortunate against the Hurricanes. Miami is more than capable of pushing the pace and are a top 25 team in the nation in scoring offense this season. The Hurricanes have beaten Wake Forest 3 straight times and in 5 of the last 6 meetings entering this game. Miami has played well all season long, and they have capable depth to work within their rotation. Wake Forest hangs in, but Miami's offensive firepower is too much for the Demon Deacons to handle. Look for the Hurricanes to emerge with the victory to advance to the semifinals. Our team pick is Miami Hurricanes -5.5 points. There are some recent performances that lean toward the under, but the overarching trends are for the over. First of all, these teams both boast top 30 offenses, and when they played in February they combined for 183 points. They also both play at higher paces, with Miami being ranked 104th and Wake Forest 57th in Pomeroy's adjusted tempo, out of 363 teams. That means that they average more possessions per game than most teams, which gives them more scoring opportunities. The over is 10-0-1 in the last 11 games that the Demon Deacons have played against teams with a .600 or better record. Take the over 157.5 points. Rutgers vs. Michigan. Michigan has the better big man and the better supporting cast in this matchup. This game weighs heavily on the tournament hopes for both teams. In a matchup of two of the best bigs in the country, Hunter Dickinson has the edge over Clifford Amory in the post. Dickinson has 2 inches and 20 pounds on Amory and is the better scorer. Dickinson averages 18.2 ppg, while Amory averages 13.5. They play different styles, which will benefit the Wolverines. Dickinson can step out and hit outside shots, which will force Amory out from under the basket and open up lanes for the other Michigan players. Amory scores the majority of his points around the basket, but that won't be easy against the bigger Dickinson. Michigan also has Jet Howard and Kobe Buffkin scoring on the perimeter, and Rutgers' Caleb McConnell can't guard both of them at the same time. Michigan is the better team and will advance in this game. Take Michigan to win and cover. The two offenses will struggle to score at times against two very good defenses, but it will be the pace of play that will dictate this the most. They want to work the ball inside, and that forces shots late in the shot clock, which will drive down the total. The under is 5-1 in the Scarlet Knights' last 6 Thursday games. The under is 5-1 in the Wolverines' last 6 versus a team with a winning straight-up record. Take the under 132.5 points on Thursday. St. John's vs. Marquette. When looking at Ken Palm's adjusted efficiency margin throughout the season, there is a clear difference as Marquette is 13th in the sport with a plus 21.20 rating, while St. John's is 86th in college basketball with a plus 9.15 rating thus far. Ken Palm's adjusted offensive efficiency shows a huge reason why they should be able to score, as the Red Storm are 110th with a 108.9 rating, while the Golden Eagles are 4th in the entire country with a 120.9 rating. All in all, go with the Marquette Golden Eagles to cover the spread. When looking at these defenses throughout the last few games, they need to improve, as St. John's is allowing 84.2 points in their last 5 games, while Marquette is giving up 78 points in their previous 3 games. Both teams have been extremely quick moving the ball, as the Red Storm are 6th in collegiate basketball with 76.2 possessions per game, while the Golden Eagles are 71st in the sport with 72.3 possessions per game right now. The over has hit in 13 of the last 19 Red Storm games played on Thursday, as well as in 8 of the previous 11 Golden Eagles games following an ATS loss, so go with the over 161.5 points here. Iowa State vs. Baylor. The Bears will cover the spread on Thursday with a stellar performance in their 3rd meeting with the Cyclones. Baylor is the better offensive team and won't be held in check like it was in the first half of its last game with Iowa State. These are the final opportunities for the freshman George to flash his potential, making them auditions for potential NBA suitors. He'll inspire confidence in Baylor's potential for an NCAA tourney run with a standout showing against ISU. Our team pick is Baylor minus 3.5 points. The total has finished under in 6 of Iowa State's last 7 games. In the most recent game between the two last Saturday, just 131 points were scored, which finished under the closing line total of 134. Iowa State's defense is allowing an average of only 62.2 points per game and 41.8% shooting. Baylor's defense gives up plenty, but the Bears hold opponents to a 32.0% three-point shooting percentage, which means more possessions are needed for more points. Take the under 134.5 points. East Carolina vs. South Florida. South Florida took both season matchups by an average margin of victory of 9.5 points straight up, and also won both ATS. In the last meeting back on February 1st, the Bulls had a 14-point lead at the half and extended their lead to 23 at its highest point. The Bulls shot 49.1% in those games while holding the Pirates to 38.1% shooting. That number is right around what East Carolina has been shooting over their last 5 games. South Florida's defense allowed just 64 points per game over their last 3 games, so they are tuned up heading into this tournament. In comparing a common opponent, both played at Central Florida in the last few weeks, with East Carolina losing by 26 while South Florida pull out a 7-point victory. The Bulls are 4-1 ATS in the last 5 meetings with East Carolina and 3-0-1 ATS in their last 4 versus a team with a losing record. Take the Bulls minus 3 points. In the 2 games played this season, these two combined to average 142.5 points per game, with their last meeting totaling 134 points. These two teams favored the over for much of the season, but down the stretch that has changed. The under was 3-2 in the Pirates' last 5 games and was 4-1 in the Bulls' last 5. South Florida has scored under 70 points in 3 of their last 7 games, including a 49-point stinker in their last game. East Carolina has had 3 games of scoring 62 or less in their last 5, with a 58-point performance their last time out. 3 of the last 4 meetings between these schools have gone under. Take the under 143.5 points. Mississippi State versus Florida. These teams have been on 2 completely different levels throughout the season. From beyond the arc, as Florida is shooting 32.4% from 3, which is 271st in the nation, while Mississippi State is dead last in the nation with a 27.3 3-point percentage. When looking at the assist-to-turnover ratio, these teams are right with one another, as the Gators are 89th in the nation with a 1.142 ratio, while the Bulldogs are 93rd in the nation with a 1.140 ratio so far. The underdog has hit in 4 of the last 5 games against one another, so go with the Florida Gators covering the spread here. Our team pick is Florida Gators plus 3.5 points. These offenses have been doing well as of late, with the Bulldogs scoring 73 points in their previous 2 games, while the Gators are averaging 75.5 points in their last 4 games. Defensively, in the last 3 games, these teams need to be better at defending the 3, as Florida is allowing a good 27.4% from beyond the arc, while Mississippi State is allowing 38.8% from deep in that span. The over has hit in 6 of the previous 7 Bulldogs games, as well as in 8 of the last 9 Gators games, so go with over 129.5 points here as well. Our total pick is over 129.5 points.